so much. Going to Ward 2. In Ward 2, there are 3 running for the seat: Alderman Steve Laurenti, Tim Rose, and Richard Town. And if you'll take your microphones, Richard, you're going to share mine with me. And we're going to begin with Alderman Steve Laurenti. Your opening statement, 1 minute.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank the Family Heritage Alliance for having us here tonight to give us this opportunity for the voters to get to know their hopefully elected officials better. My name is Steve Laurenti, and I am running for re-election in Ward 2 for the Council of Rapid City. I am an Army veteran. I grew up in Leeds, South Dakota, and joined the Army after graduating high school there. Came back to Rapid City, got my bachelor's degree in business from Black Hills State University, and married my wife, I think it was my junior year. It was very challenging for us, still both of us in college at the time, but we are raising 3 boys in Rapid City. I moved to Rapid City from Spearfish in 1994 after my graduation, and I'm extremely proud of what Rapid City has done before, of course, I was elected, and I'm proud of what we're doing on the City Council today, and I'm hoping that the voters of Ward 2 will honor me by voting for me again. And I'm hoping that my votes have reflected their values and what's important in their priorities, and I'm asking for their vote, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Tim Rose, moving to you, 1 minute for an opening statement.
My name is Tim Rose, and I lived in Chamberlain, South Dakota for my first 7 years, and I moved in 1987. I moved to Rapid City, and I call this home. I still call that where I live, and by the river. I am a moderate conservative. I work at East Family Thrift, or FTC, and I'm a cashier. I monitor about 10 cashiers daily, and I just want to earn the voters' vote. I believe in the people. They need somewhat of a voice. I like to, more input from the city and the citizens.
And Richard Town, moving to you, opening statement, 1 minute.
Thank you. Richard Town is my name. Thanks to the Family Heritage Alliance for the invite tonight to speak. I've been a resident of Ward 2 since 1970. A 1975 graduate of Rapid City Central High School, and a 1976 graduate of Black Hills Area Vocational Technical School, which went on to be Western Dakota Technical Institute, adding an associate's degree at WDT in 2003. Living for a year each in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and Westminster, Colorado, I've always returned back to Ward 2 because I think Ward 2 is my home. It's a great place to live. Diesel mechanic by training and trade. 11 years as a maintenance supervisor for the City of Rapid City Fire Department, and 1 year with the City of Westminster, Colorado Fire Department, and then returning back to Rapid City. And I've been working for Black Hills Power, Black Hills Corporation, currently the senior fleet coordinator there. So I'm here running for the first time for an office. Appreciate your vote.
And then question number 1, all 3 of you will answer, beginning with Alderman Laurenti, and that is, what is the basis of your moral compass, and how will that influence what you decide is best for Rapid City?
Thank you for the question. This is a really easy one for me, and I saw it, I was like, well, this is a slow pitch softball. And I'm hoping to hit it out of the park, but the fact of the matter is, my moral compass is based on the fact that I, 1, am a cradle Christian. My faith, my belief, and the ongoing and continuing learning and education of God's and Jesus Christ's teachings is where my moral compass is grounded. The best way that I could say how it would influence what I would do or decide is best for my constituents is to talk about some of the things that may have already been said tonight, but I had it prepared. But the prayer at before our council meetings, when we were first dealing with that at council, you know, I knew right away, and that's because of my moral compass. I knew right away how I needed to defend that. Not only is it part of our Constitution, but it's a very strong belief of mine. The other thing was just this recently, the sex-oriented businesses, which was coined by Representative Craig here, because adult-oriented is kind of a misnomer, because it's not an adult thing to do, it's just a sex-oriented thing to do. And I stood fast against that, increasing the enforcement and the strict enforcement, if you will, on that business and making sure that the ordinance is enforceable. So that would be the best example of that.
Tim Rose, same question.
I'm a Catholic, and I have God in my heart daily. I pray nightly before I go to bed. I think everybody probably does that sometimes. I have a 10-year-old daughter. She thinks I'm somewhat God in a way because she hardly listens to her mom. So, but when I come home, she's, hey, Dad, you know, I need to listen to you, not my mom. So that, but I think we just need a, it's just, my morals is, you know, family first, job second, fun third. So I think family is more important than more, you know, you're being out and having fun all the time, so.
And Richard Town, same question.
My moral compass is also guided by my Christian faith, a member of South Maple United Methodist Church since 1981. I believe in our neighborhoods first, our family-friendly, small churches, schools. That's what I want to see and reinforce support for within Ward 2. If we don't have pride in our neighborhoods, then that's where we start to fail. So we need to bring back our neighborhoods, and very excited to hear the news about the new South Middle School that's being built in Ward 2. Cornerstone there is the community center for our neighborhoods, and so that's basically family-friendly. Ward 2 is what I'm after. Thank you.
And question number 2 for Alderman Laurenti. What are 2 of the top priorities that city government should address in the next 2 years?
Well, I would say honestly, we've just turned in budget priorities for this next budget year. So obviously, one of those is to continue to be disciplined budget-wise. And that means that when we're looking at our budget each year, which the city council does, we have to make sure that that budget reflects the values and the priorities of the citizens that elected us. And that's important, and that means you have to listen. You know, the second one I would say is taking care of our responsibilities as a city government. Our first priorities are public safety and infrastructure. And so that goes back to budget. We have to make sure that that priority of public safety and infrastructure is taken care of first. I don't think the citizens of Rapid City at this point could give us A's. In fact, we had a scorecard a couple of years ago, and we didn't score, our city government didn't score very well on infrastructure. And so it's extremely important that we take care of our public safety and infrastructure before we start spending the taxpayers' money in areas outside of that. And the taxpayers should be giving us A's in those areas before we decide, and the citizens decide that we should spend money elsewhere. Thank you.
And then Tim Laurenti. I'm sorry, Tim Rose. Tim Rose. The second question for you is, if elected, this will be your first time in public office, what issue do you feel most passionate about and why? And how would you address this issue in the next 2 years?
I think Mount Rushmore Civic Center needs to be put up to a people's vote, and I think we need a kind of the racism in town. It kind of needs to kind of mellow in a way, so it's not customer friendly. So.
Okay, and Richard Town, same question for you. If elected, this will be your first time in public office, and what issue do you feel most passionate about, and why, and how would you address this issue in the next 2 years?
I'm most passionate about infrastructure also. I agree with Mr. Laurenti. All his statements, public safety and infrastructure are crucial. Like I said in my first question, to make pride in our neighborhoods. If we don't have good, clean, safe, quality neighborhoods, then we don't give anything to our children going forward. So I sat on the drainage task force to help implement the drainage maintenance utility. And one of the things that I found on sitting on that, things run slow within our city government. They run extremely slow. One of the drainage issues, I stood in the alley behind my house on St. Anne Street in Ward 2 with then City Councilman Sam Quaker, and we discussed fixing that alley, and that was 12 years ago, and it's happening as we speak just today. So things do run a little slow. I'd like to be the guy in Ward 2 that would be the go-to guy for issues that you want to bring forward to bring to the City Council. I want to be available for that. My 3 talking points are engage, empower, and educate citizens. And I too admit I was complacent as a citizen. I thought city government had to do everything for me. But I need to engage myself and the other citizens, empower them to get involved in their neighborhoods and bring things forward, and then educate them on the workings of city government. Just the amount that I've gotten involved lately, I've found out a lot about Civic Center financing and all those issues. So as I educate myself, I'll take that out to the Ward 2 citizens. Thank you.
And time for a closing statement. You each have 1 minute each, beginning with Tim Rose.
I am 34 years old, and I am running for Ward 2 for the 3rd time, and I want to earn the people's vote. I believe in the people, by the people. I'll answer, if you give me a call, I'll answer your phone call. My number is 605-430-9266. I do have an email. It is timr.rose@gmail.com. So, and I can listen to anybody that needs to, if someone has a problem with the city or something like that, I can sit down and listen and point you in the right direction, I hope. Thank you.
And Richard Town, your closing statement.
I feel that I bring a unique insight and experience to serve our diverse working class neighborhoods in Ward 2. I've been married to my wife Dana for 33 years, 3 wonderful children, 2 graduates from Central High, another, our oldest son, graduate from Bloomington, Indiana, doctor of optometry, and he's down in Louisiana, but my son is in Hot Springs, South Dakota. My daughter here in Rapid City, part of the CASA organization, very involved with our community. We intend to stay active as a part of Ward 2. Like I said, my talking points, it is my intent to engage, empower, and educate Ward 2 citizens on the workings of city government. We are all in this together. It takes an entire community to raise a child. Our clean, safe, secure, progressive, and sustainable neighborhoods should be a source of pride for all to grow up, go to school, work, enjoy our vast recreational opportunities, and retire in comfortably. So I'd appreciate your support and vote for a greater opportunity to serve the citizens of Ward 2.
Thank you.
And Alderman Laurenti, 1 minute, your closing statement.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, again, my name is Steve Laurenti. I'm a conservative Republican running for re-election in Ward 2. And I'm asking the voters of Ward 2 to re-elect me to continue making economic development, public safety, and infrastructure top priorities, which they have always been for me, and my votes reflect that. Working with Mayor Koiker and city staff to make city government more efficient and effective without raising taxes will continue under my representation. Being unafraid to ask tough questions and challenging the status quo in a positive, constructive manner will not stop if I'm reelected. Doing the same thing over and over again, ladies and gentlemen, we all know you can't expect to have a different result, and it's not acceptable. If reelected by the voters of Ward 2, I will continue to reflect what I have said, or my votes will continue to reflect what I have said and what I will say. My principles of conservative, limited government are not for sale. I thank you for your time this evening, and I'm hoping you will continue to learn positive, good things this evening. Thank you.